Let's go ahead and let's get to the shutdown here. All right, if you believe that Donald Trump is playing the ultimate 4D chess with this Democrat-run shutdown, and now with Russ Vought, we have the opportunity to slash the federal government like we need to.
So
comment
great.
those big, beautiful American flags in the chat right now for our president, because it looks like the Democrats have played right into Trump's hands. In a terrifying development for the left, President Trump has a meeting with Project 25 OMB Director Russ Vought to discuss slashing Democrat agencies during the shutdown. Is this a video, Todd?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Go back up. Let me read it. Quote, I can't believe the radical left Democrats gave me this unprecedented. Click on his Truth Social there. What does he say in this thing? All right. I have a meeting today with Russ Vought, he of Project 2025 fame, to determine which of the many Democrat agencies, most of which are a political scam, he recommends to be cut, and whether or not those cuts will be temporary or permanent. I can't believe the radical left Democrats gave me this unprecedented opportunity. They are not stupid people, so maybe this is their way of wanting to, quietly and quickly, make America great again. President DJT.
Dude,
In other words,
man.
the pain is fixing to be brought. So let's go. Next article here. This is Trump posted this on Truth Social for a video. Check this out. Don't fear the Reaper. With the cowbell.
Now their time has come. Here the power's gone.
Got a fever.
I've got a fever. All right.
More cowbell.
All right. In a nod to the great Charlie Kirk, this is an old tweet that Charlie put up actually about Russ Vought. People have yet to fully appreciate the significance of Russ' voice at OMB. It's seismic. And this is when Russ Vought was confirmed. So Charlie knew. This is Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, on Russ Vought. Let's hear what he has to say. Let's just play it. Let's go.
It is coming. Russ is the expert. He's our dear friend, and he's in an unenviable situation. It's not one that he relishes. Look, you and I and Russ and all conservatives, we've always wanted to limit the size and scope of government, but we'd rather do it through the legislative process and not under duress like this. So what Russ has to do, because he's the director of the Office of Management and Budget, he has to do what anybody in his position in this situation would do. That is to look at the balance sheet, to figure out how to make the dollars go to the services and the positions and the policies that are essential versus those that are not. Now, Russ is going to look at that through the same lens that Larry Kudlow and Mike Johnson would look at it, because he's going to say, you know, which one of these makes sense? Which one of these follow the policy priorities of President Trump and this administration? Because that's
very few on the Democrat
Now, if you had a
side.
Democrat, a big government woke progressive liberal sitting in that seat, they'd look at that balance sheet very differently. But Russ Vought has been given the authority to do this, and he's been given that authority by one man. His name is Chuck Schumer. Okay, Chuck Schumer led the Democrats in the Senate to hand that pen to Russ Vought. And I think there could be some good that comes out of it if we limit the size and scope of government, but it is not a job that he relishes.
All right, let's hear what Caroline Leavitt has to say. She was on Fox and Friends, I believe, the other day. Let's hear. Oh, no, this was whatever this is with. It wasn't
show.
Fox and Friends. It's Fox. Let's go.
Fix this problem. And look, we have $0 coming into the federal government right now because the Democrats shut it down. So what Russ Vought is working diligently on is examining how we can fix this mess to ensure that critical funding continues, that we can get people paid. But the Democrats are making that very difficult. And that's why the president put out a statement this morning saying that we're going to start looking across the board at layoffs and at agencies that we feel do not best serve the American taxpayer, that may need to be halted or permanently cut.
So on that, I wanted to ask you about that because he mentioned Russ Vought in that. I think that came out about 8 o'clock this morning about cutting certain programs that they deem are not necessary. Is that real, or is that a negotiating tactic?
Oh, it's very real. The Democrats know that they put the White House and the president in this position. And if they don't want further harm on their constituents back home, then they need to reopen the government. It's very simple. Pass the clean continuing resolution, and all of this goes away. We would not be having these discussions here at the White House today if not for the Democrats voting to shut the government down. This is an unfortunate consequence, and the president and Russ Vought will be meeting on that later today.
All right, let's go to MSNBC, and then CNN are having panic attacks. It's one of my favorite things to watch. MSNBC's, there we go. MSNBC in full. We'll just watch the first minute, then we'll go to CNN.
So, Michael, let me bring you to today. President Trump posts on social media he's meeting with Vought today, quote, to determine which of the many Democratic agencies he recommends to be cut and whether or not those cuts will be temporary or permanent. Is this what Republicans voted for when they voted unanimously to confirm Russ Vought at OMB? Is it what voters voted for?
Yeah, well, yes to both. I'm sorry, we have a civic responsibility as citizens to fully flesh out what a presidential candidate intends to do. Donald Trump told us that he wanted to be a dictator. Donald Trump told us he wanted retribution. Donald Trump lied about not knowing anything about Project 2025, but as he tweets out today, he's fully aware of what it is because it is executing a strategy within his own administration.
Pause. He knows what it is now, you moron, because all you did was talk about it for a year. What are you talking? See, these people are retarded. Go to CNN. I want to hear CNN cry. I want to hear what they obviously he knew about it. You were talking about it for a year and a half. Okay, play it. Let's go.
Renee, let's first start with what we know, what we don't know, I guess, about the Trump administration's, what they actually mean when they say mass firings are imminent. Is there a picture that's starting to emerge of who or even what is being targeted at this point?
No, I think that still remains unclear at this point. We know that this morning the president said that he was meeting with OMB Director Russ Vought and that they would be hammering out these sort of details on which so-called, he calls it, these are his words, Democratic agencies, where they would be cutting workers, where they'd be cutting programs, and discussing whether they would be permanent cuts or temporary cuts. But we should point out that before the shutdown officially went into effect, Vought had already gotten the wheels turning in this direction. In a memo to agency heads, he told them to consider mass layoffs for employees working on programs and projects whose funding will lapse, and there's no other source of funding available, and it's also not aligned with the president's agenda. So those were the three criteria for people working in programs that
in other words, you're screwed. That's it. In other words, we're screwed.
You're screwed. You did it to yourself. Congratulations.
Look, at the end of this video, they borderline beg the Democrats to reopen.
Please pass the budget. Please.
Yeah, and then, and of course, let's go to Mike Johnson on the sombrero memes because Chuck Schumer made such a big deal.
Oh, my God.
Democrats have no sense of humor at all. This is Mike Johnson talking about the sombrero memes.
Many of you asked me this morning about sombreros and memes and why Hakeem Jeffries is all alarmed by that. But look, these are games. These are sideshows. People are getting caught up in battles over social media memes. We've got to keep this is not a game. We've got to keep the government open for the people. I don't know why this is so complicated. And to my friend Hakeem, who I was asked about, man, just ignore it. I mean, Gavin Newsom was trolling me last night. He painted me like a minion. He painted me yellow with big glasses and overalls. And I thought it was hilarious. You don't respond to it. For all my friends, R's and D's, don't respond to it. Get to work, do the people's business, and let's get on with it. Thank y'all.
Yeah, put your freaking big boy, big girl pants on, you losers.
How many times?
Sissy girl pants. SSGP in the chat.
Yes.
What a bunch of sissies, man.
For real.
Ted, check your battery, dude. What the crap? I can't. I mean, dude, these are grown adults. These are people that are supposed to be, and you can go to me and Utah here.
Yeah,
these are people that are supposed to be in charge of our country.
Yeah.
And they're getting butthurt over an AI meme.
Dude,
I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's I've seen some of the memes of me, And like, whatever, dude. I talked about it the other day. Some dude found old shirtless pics of me back in my Army days and like posted them all over the internet. Like
okay.
Graham Allen used to want to like get gay guys to like him or something like that. And I was like, and I'm looking at it going, dang, I actually do wish I looked like that.
Actually
again,
looked pretty good back in the
I
day.
was like, I'm not saying, I was doing pretty good back then. And
thank you for posting that, buddy.
Thank you for
Appreciate it.
reminding everybody what's going on under here.
Thank
No, I'm
you.
just kidding. But dude, you just got to take this stuff, man. Like you are supposed to be a grown adult. And on top of that, you're supposed to be the leaders for our country, and you're whining and complaining about means, and then you're shutting the government down because you want children to be able to cut their genitals off, and you want illegal immigrants to have better health care than American citizens who work jobs.
Like, I'm just curious, when did sticks and stones not become relevant anymore? You freaking pansies.
Well,
Good
they
Lord.
probably find that abusive and bullying, Todd, to even do that.